Hello everyone. Good morning to everybody. How are you doing, students? I wish you are all well-being. As you know, we are enjoying the famous sonnet "Death Be Not Proud" was written by metaphysical poet John Donne. John Donne was the main leader of metaphysical poets, and he is well known for his metaphysical poetry. John Donne wrote holy songs and holy sonnets, and this sonnet, "Death Be Not Proud," is also 10th in number, and along other points, this poem was also written in 1629, and it was published after 2 years after his death in 33. Yesterday we studied its octave part, and today we are going to enjoy the SESTET part of this poem. As you know, this sonnet is a Petrarchan sonnet, and Petrarchan sonnet is generally divided into two parts: octave and SESTET part. Octave part means the first part of the poem, which is consisted of 8 lines, and in which poet presents his major theme and his problem, and SESTET part he comes to conclusion, a solution to the problem presented in the first part. So we will enjoy the second part, SESTET part. SESTET part, there are 6 lines of this part. In octave part, John Donne personifies the death, and he makes clear death and that death is nothing to be fear. Death has nothing to be fear. It is not mighty and terrified, so we need not to afraid of it. We should welcome it, and we shouldn't abhor. We can say we should not hate it, because death brings a great pleasure to our soul. It gives rest to our body and makes our soul free from this physical body. So death is a great source of pleasure, and he also makes a direct additions to death, and he says to it not to be proud of its might and dreadfulness. So guys, let's start SESTET part. Thou art slave to fight chance, kings and desperate men, and does with poison, war, and sickness dwell. And poppy or charms can make us sleep as well, and better than thy stroke. Why swell thou then? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. Thou art slave to fate. He says death is not powerful. It is a slave to fate. It means death is slave to our fate, chance, because death is controlled by our fate. Death is controlled by our fate and our luck. We die whenever our death is destined by our luck. By chance, by chance, if we die by accident, we got uh, we get death by chance. There here the possibilities of accident and death may be caused by accident, killed by other persons, any in we are killed by king's army and desperate man who doesn't know the purpose of killing us. So he says death is slave to our luck and our chances and chances of our life, and we are killed either king's army or desperate man. But death never never kills us. Our luck, chance, king's army, and desperate man brings death. And thus with poison, and it can be done by poison, war, and sickness. There are three possibilities of death, and poison, we die either by poison, we die in the battlefield, yeah, sometimes fall victim of sickness. So there are three causes of death: poison, or and any disease. And poppy or charms can make us sleep as well. And like death, poppy means opium, and charms magic can make us sleep as well. It means he addresses death and tells her that it can be done by poppies and magic, which is done generally by death, as death brings sleep, eternally sleepness to us, and such type of sleepness can be brought by poppy, opium, and magic to us. And better than thy stroke, and these poppies and charms are better, brings comforts from thy stroke, from thy attack of death. It means point want to say that the poppies, charms, poison, or and sickness are more comfortable, which bring us sleepness, and which are more comfortable and better than the attack of death. So why swell thou then? And then he asks, then why should she puffed up? Why should she be puffed up of its might? One short sleep past, be wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death thou shalt die. One short sleep past. He says, death brings only short sleep. And after short sleep, we wake in heaven eternally, where death can never be existed more. So, in the heaven, death is automatically death itself. There is no existence of death in the human, so death will die itself. So poet want to say that death has nothing to be proud of, and it is nothing more than a slave, because death is controlled by our fate, chance, king's army, and desperate men. It means we die when our fate wants, when chances come, and when king's army and desperate men tries to kill us, but death never kills us. So, and such type of sleep can be brought by the poppy and magic, poison, war, and sickness, and the this kind of sleep is more comfortable than the stroke attack of death. So we need not to be fear of death, and he directly addresses to death and asks why should why she should proud Pablo on why should why she should pop up pop up on his might. One man, one short sleep past, we wake eternally. If it thinks that it kills us, it should not think like so, because it brings only short sleep, and after short sleep, we wake eternally in the heaven again. It means our souls take place in heaven, and in the heaven there is no existed of death. So death will never come and will never touch, and we can say death never comes in the heaven, so it dies itself automatically. So poet concludes in this SESTET part that death brings us rest to our body and release our soul from our physical bodies, and it is also best preached in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita that the physical body is like a old robe, old clothes, which is released by our soul after death. So, and soul is never die, it is immortal and eternal, and it lives in the heaven where death is not existed. So it makes us death help us to get heaven, and it brings great pleasure to us and our soul. So we need not to fear of it, and death has nothing to be proud of. So guys, the rhyme scheme of this SESTET part is desperate, dwell well, then really die. If we if we see the first line's men, then it means C D D, and then C E E. The last two lines rhyme is same E E. So we can say the rhyming scheme is C D D and C E E, and the selection of words are perfect, and according to context, diction is easy and simple. and the logic which is presented by the poet is appropriate and it's acceptable to the learned persons. So we come to the end of this poem. That's all for today. Thank you.